What's good, fellas? Welcome to this presentation. This is how to become a powerful leader, respected by men and loved by women. A leader. What is a leader? What is a powerful leader? A powerful leader is a man that has a vision, a man that has a goal, a man that can see the future while he is in this present moment. He can see the future. And he believes in what he sees. He believes in the future. He believes in his purpose, his goal, his vision 110%. Not 100%, 110%. That means he's willing to do whatever it takes, and he's willing to go above and beyond to ensure the manifestation of his vision. That's a powerful leader. That's a man that's going to walk into the unknown because, he doesn't have the exact blueprint. He's creating something that's not currently existent. So he doesn't exactly know how things are going to go, but he has this belief that he is going to make this vision come to reality, come to fruition. A powerful leader that's respected by men. Can you respect a man like that? I mean, if you saw a man who had a vision, had a goal, and he was just going after it 110% no matter what. And he didn't give a fuck who wants to follow him or who wants to be on his side or help him, because he is a leader. He's willing to lead from the front. He's willing to walk into the dark, the valley of the shadows of death. How does it go? He's willing to walk into the dark, bro. He's willing to go where nobody is willing to go. Because he believes in himself. He doesn't need anybody. But he's not stupid, though. If somebody wants to help him, somebody wants to support him, hey, man, great. Somebody wants to come along for the ride. If people want to follow, great. But he's not looking for that. That's the thing. He's not seeking that. Because he's willing to sacrifice. He's willing to do whatever it takes. And that's where his power comes from. His belief in his vision. So a leader needs to know where he is currently, the starting point, and he needs to know the end goal, and he needs to have the ability to be committed to the process of getting to the end goal. He has to be 110% committed. When I say 110%, I mean he needs to be willing to do what's necessary, but he also needs to be willing to do more than what's necessary, right? He needs to be willing to go above and beyond. And so that's what makes people want to follow, because they see the strength, they see the power, and they admire that. They're inspired by it because they're like, how is he so confident? How is he so, so disciplined? How is he so focused? Like, what? They're fascinated by that. And guess what? Not just men, women, they see that and they're like, whoa, look at him. That's hot to a woman. That's a turn on to a woman. That's a man in his masculine energy. And the grounded part, this is how you become grounded, with your commitment. When you're committed to something, that means you won't budge. That means you won't deviate. That means you are focused, locked in. That means whatever happens, it doesn't matter because you're going to keep going. There's nothing that can stop you. There's nothing that can derail you, right? That's that commitment. That's a powerful ass leader, bro. A leader is someone who is, if he makes a mistake, he'll admit it. He'll say, hey, I made a mistake. But let's keep going. I learned from my mistake. I'm not going to make that mistake again. Let's go. Right? Because you're going to make mistakes. If you have a vision of something you want to create and you've never done it before, you've never made it happen before, obviously you don't know exactly how things are going to go. So you're going to make some mistakes. But you got to learn from your mistakes. That's the key. A leader needs to be intelligent. He needs to be smart. He needs to be able to see the truth, right? And not get caught up in his ego, not get too cocky, you know what I mean? He needs to be stable. He needs to be grounded, right? He needs to be responsible. The leader can't be blaming nobody. When shit doesn't go his way, he can't be like, man, I told you should have did this and that. No, the leader will take responsibility. The leader said, you know what? I could have done. There was something that I could have done to help you. You know, he's not gonna go crazy on somebody because somebody messed up or whatever. He's thinking about how he could have been more supportive of that person, right? How he could have helped more because he's just so committed to his goal. He's so committed to his purpose, right? That's a true leader, somebody that has a vision. Now, if we're talking in the context of women, right? Women are looking for a man that has that leading energy too, right? When you approach a woman, you lead by having intent. You have an intent, a goal. What is it that you want to create within this interaction with this woman, right? You just want to have a good vibes, right? Then okay, then that's where you interact from. That's where you communicate from. I'm just creating good vibes here. And you stay grounded in that vision. Here's the key to being a great leader is you stay grounded in your intent. You don't change your intent. You don't get reactive because somebody challenges you. You're gonna get challenged. That's guaranteed. You don't change your intent because she shit tests you. You don't change your intent because something happens and now you're experiencing fear. The leader experiences fear and keeps going anyway. The leader runs into an obstacle and he makes the obstacle the path, right? He doesn't run away from the obstacle. He doesn't say, oh shit, there's a roadblock, gotta go. No, he kicks down the roadblock or he jumps over it or he finds a way to go around it, right? That's the leader. That's what the leader does. A powerful leader. And he keeps doing that because there's going to be multiple challenges. It's not going to be one challenge. It's going to be multiple challenges, multiple obstacles. And the leader's like, yo, I believe in my shit. I believe in what I'm doing. I believe in myself. I don't need any validation from anyone. I don't need anybody's approval. Bruh, I believe in myself, man. I have too much belief in myself. I have so much belief in myself that I could give some belief and believe in you, right? A leader, man. A leader is a man that can handle tension. He can handle ridicule. He can handle looking stupid. He can handle being embarrassed because he just believes in his vision. He believes in what he's doing so much, man. He's not willing to go back to the old condition, right? That's probably part of the belief too. The old condition, he didn't like it, right? And so that's why he's creating this new condition. That's why he has this vision, this purpose, and he's going after it because he wants something better, right? And what's even better is when it's a selfless goal, it's a selfless vision because he knows it's going to help others, right? That's a leader, man. A leader is someone that knows his strengths and he knows his weaknesses, right? He's not in denial of shit, right? And so he uses his strengths. He leverages his strengths to achieve the goal. Like if you know you're good at communicating, then use your communication to achieve the goal. You know, if you're good at art, you're artistic, use your art to achieve the goal, right? The leader is also smart. The leader knows that he's not good at everything, right? So he will give people within his tribe, within his team, within this group, he will give them roles in which they can lead in based on their strengths, right? That's how you build a strong team, right? You need a leader that's smart enough to say, hey, I'm not great at everything, but what I'm great at, I will lead in that, but I will also delegate these different roles, these different activities to you all based on what you're good at, right? And this is how we create, and achieve this goal even faster, right? By combining our talents, by combining our strengths. So a leader is able to delegate. A leader is able to create other leaders within the organization, within what he's doing, right? What about, in an interaction with a woman, right? A leader, when he's talking to a woman, he's leading the interaction in the direction he wants it to go. That's why I say you got to have intent, right? You have to have a goal in life. when you're doing things, you have to have an intent and a goal, because if you don't, you'll end up kind of like floating around. People will be able to push you around because you don't have anything that you stand for. You see what I'm saying? You don't have anything to be grounded for, because if you don't have a goal, you don't have a vision, you don't have any intent, then by definition you're going to be reactive. By definition you're going to be passive, because there's no goal, right? So a leader has a goal, a leader has a vision, a leader has something to focus on, and he focuses on it, right? A leader has energy. You need energy to be a leader. You can't be lacking in energy, right? So you need to take care of yourself. A leader takes care of himself, right? He makes sure that he's good. You can't lead others if you're not okay. The leader makes sure that he's whole. He makes sure that he's secure. He handles his shit. He handles his demons. He handles his past trauma, his fears, his insecurities before he talk about, oh, I'm gonna go lead somebody. You can't lead nobody if you can't lead yourself. The leader is a master of his emotions, right? He has emotional control. He's a master of his mind. His mind doesn't control him. He controls his mind. A leader has a code. He has values. He has a way of living. He has his own religion. Right? He doesn't follow just because everyone's following, doing a certain thing. He's not going to do it just because everyone's doing it. He's a leader. He's like, yo, I don't know if that makes sense, bro. I think I'm going to go this way. Right? And yeah, it may be easier to go and follow the crowd, but a leader doesn't take the easy path. He takes the path that he knows he's supposed to take. He takes the right path. Whether it's easy or hard, that's not how he determines what path to take. He takes the path that's going to get him the results he wants. He takes the path that's going to benefit, the goal, benefit the team, benefit himself, benefit the world. Whatever it is, whatever the vision is, he's willing to do what's necessary. A leader is selfless. He gets outside of himself, right? He has a purpose, something bigger than himself, right? So he can relate to others. He can listen to others because he wants to see, can we work together to make this shit happen, right? So a leader listens to people when they talk, man. A leader listens to people. A leader is open to other people's ideas, right? And he's willing to put his ego aside. Maybe somebody has a better idea than him. If it's a better idea, the leader sees the vision and the purpose as the priority, making that a reality. And so if he has to check his ego, put his ego aside and accept that somebody has a better idea, he's okay with that, because he knows that by accepting their idea, it's going to get them closer to the goal. A leader knows how to calibrate, right? Calibrate, meaning he has intent, he has goals, he has a purpose, but he knows how to flow, right? He knows that things aren't going to go exactly how he thinks, right? He can set a plan. You can have a plan, but the leader's smart enough to know, you can't really control external events, right? You can set a certain plan and the weather can go, maybe you set a plan, you're going to do something outside for the day, right? And it starts raining and it starts storming or whatever. And the leader has enough, confidence in himself to adjust to the situation, right? Because he's aware, just because you have a plan doesn't mean it's going to go exactly as a plan. So you got to be willing to, you know what I mean? Get away from the plan in certain situations and trust your instinct, trust your intuition as part of being a leader, right? The leader steps up to challenges. He steps up to haters, right? When you lead, when you have a goal, when you have a purpose, when you're trying to do some shit, there's going to be somebody that's going to have a problem with that, right? When you stand up for something, somebody's going to say, oh, no, that's wrong, or oh, da, 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 da. And a leader doesn't run away. A leader is like, okay, you think I'm wrong? Let me hear what you got to say. And if he wants to see, is this person actually have a logical argument, because he wants to see if he can get some value out of it, or is this just a hater? Is this just somebody just speaking from their emotions, right? Like, the leader is willing to listen, right? The leader is willing to put his ego aside because, as I said, the goal, the vision, the purpose is a priority. Not me being cool or me looking a certain way or me being perfect. No, it's the vision, it's the purpose, it's the goal. Whatever is necessary to hit that goal without, going outside of the code, right? Because a leader needs to have a code. He needs to have values. What does he stand for? We stand for justice, right? I stand for justice. I stand for honor. I stand for discipline. I stand for courage, right? So you have these values that you create this frame in the way that you move and how you take action with these values, so you don't get outside of these values. You don't end up taking some action that's going to divert, and move your direction, move you in the wrong direction, right? So a leader has values. A leader has a code that he follows and he sticks to, right? He doesn't break that code. He doesn't, compromise, right? A leader is able to see things when nobody else can, right? He's able to see the future. He doesn't know, like, there's no guarantees, right? But in his head, it's either he's going to achieve the goal or he's going to die trying. That's a powerful leader. That's a powerful. Would you be willing to follow a guy like that? I bet. A guy who's willing to do whatever it takes to achieve the goal or die trying. That's a powerful ass man. Imagine how he carries himself. How would a man like that carry himself? I bet he would speak with conviction. I bet he would have his head up, chest high, right? I bet he would express himself authentically, right? He would have these characteristics, these attractive characteristics, right? Because he has something to live for. Like, a leader enjoys the process of leading, right? He enjoys the process because he loves life. He realizes that life is precious, right? Time is precious. You can't get time back, right? And so he's not going to set a goal or set an intention or have a purpose that he doesn't see value in, right? So if he's leading because he truly believes he's leading with value, right? He's leading for a purpose. There's a reason why he's leading. He's not leading because, I need to be the leader. No. He's leading because he believes that he has what it takes to make this shit happen. He has what it takes to achieve the goal. He has what it takes to get the result. A leader is able to affect people emotionally. How do you affect people emotionally? First, you got to be able to affect yourself emotionally. You got to have emotional control, right? So a leader understands himself. A leader puts himself through situations, goes through challenges himself, like, on purpose, so he can understand himself. Because if you don't understand yourself, if you can't lead yourself, you can't lead others. You can't lead a woman properly if you're not in control of your own emotions. Because she's gonna be able to like trigger your emotions, and she's gonna manipulate you. You're gonna get manipulated without even knowing you're being manipulated, because you don't know yourself. You gotta understand yourself. You gotta understand what triggers you and get rid of that shit. Nobody should be able to trigger you as a leader, right? You gotta have emotional control, right? And when you're in control of yourself, when you're grounded, when you can handle life, people will allow you to emotionally affect them because they trust your lead. They see your strength. They see your confidence. They see your courage. They're like, I trust that man because I see his power. I see his strength. He's not a pussy. He's not going to betray me. He's not full of shit, right? He has endurance. He has those traits. You gotta have the traits that your followers want, right? You want somebody to follow you. You gotta have something that they admire. They gotta look at you and say, "Wow, man, like I wish I could be like him." Okay, now you can lead. But if people are looking at you and they're like, "Nah, he's whack, bro," or they think you're weak, or you know what I mean, or, then you got some work to do. You gotta work on yourself, bro. Right? A position of leadership, like leading, it's a, you know what I mean. It's a position that somebody of, you have to be deserving, right, to lead. Right? Like that's why, look, I'm gonna just tell you straight up, leaders get women. The reason why is because leading is not easy. When you see somebody leading and they're powerful in their leadership, we respect that, we admire that, because we know that that's not easy. You have to put yourself out there. You're saying, look at me, judge me, right? You're saying, look at my actions, judge my ideas, judge what I'm saying, and I can take the judgment. That's not easy, bro. That's being vulnerable, right? That's putting yourself out there, bro. You're putting yourself out there and you can get attacked, right? You can get challenged, you can get tested. People can hit your emotions. But that's what I'm saying. A leader is a master of his emotions. Why is leadership attractive to women? Because a leader demonstrates survival. Like if you have a group of people, the guy who's leading essentially has the most survival. He's demonstrating the most survival because he has the most influence, meaning he can get people to take action, and which means he can essentially have his way within the environment. So a woman, you know, would see that, and she can clearly see your value. Because as I said, you know, in other videos, women are attracted to your survival value, right? She wants to see, you know, essentially how will she benefit if she aligns with you, right? Are you able to bring up her emotions? Are you able to raise her quality of life? Are you able to increase her survival? Are you able to lead her into the direction of life she wants to go? Are you able to help her experience the emotions and have the experiences she wants to experience? What is your value? Leadership is a value, right? You want to get women? This is something you can work on. Become a leader, but find your niche. Find something that you can lead in. Don't just say, I'm a leader. You got to find where you can lead and lead with purpose, right? Where is your niche, right? What is your passion? What is your purpose? So you can go in that field and become a leader within that field. Go where you will be celebrated, where you will be appreciated, right? Like I can lead in certain situations, but other situations I'm not gonna lead because I'm not competent, right? Like if it came, like for example, when I go to the clubs and stuff, when I go to, like, let's say a Spanish club, you know, when they're dancing bachata and stuff like that, I'm not gonna be able to lead in that because I have no competence in that. I can't dance bachata, right? So I tend to not go to those kind of clubs because I won't be able to lead, and I know the value of leading. I know how much leading turns a woman on, right? You should know by now, women love when you lead in the bedroom, right? When you take charge, when you're dominant, when you're masculine, when you're assertive, when you tell her what to do, or you position her where you want to position her. They love that shit because they get to be in their feminine energy. They get to be in their submissive energy. And they love it when you're leading, but you're also grounded, meaning you're not second guessing yourself. You're not stuck in your head. You're present to the moment. You know? A leader needs to be grounded. Grounded in the sense of a leader needs to be able to handle the tension of the environment. He needs to handle the tension of the people within the environment. That's why you need to work on your communication skills. You need to be able to work on your social skills. You can't be socially awkward. It's not going to work, right? Nobody's going to want to follow a socially awkward guy unless he has some other value that's so extreme or so high that they can overlook the social awkwardness, right? And that's still tough. Like you got, you know what I mean? You got to have certain qualities, man. like certain basic qualities. You should be able to hold a conversation. You should be able to look people in their eyes, stuff like that. I mean, as a man, you should be able to do that. If you're not able to do that, you got to work on it, right? Especially if you want high caliber women. Like high caliber women, they're expecting you to be a man, right? And they're expecting you to be able to lead. And it's an energy thing, right? So if she is a woman, she wants to be in her feminine energy. But she will only go in her feminine energy if you are in your masculine energy and is strong enough to contain her feminine energy. If not, she's not going to do it because she can't trust you, right? So a leader, he needs to be able to gain the trust of others, right? By demonstrating his strength, demonstrating his courage, demonstrating his emotional stability, his healthy emotions, demonstrating his intelligence, right? Even demonstrating it physically. Like, why not? Why not? Why not create a look that's attractive? Why not get your physique in it, at a level where people are like, oh shit. Why not? And you can start small. Like becoming a great leader, you have to start somewhere. So one of the things I will say, if you want to become a great leader, you got to be a great follower, because as a great follower, you can watch a leader and learn. You want to find great leaders, powerful leaders, and learn from them, right? That's one of the best ways to become a great leader, is to be a great follower and watch the leader, watch how he operates, watch how he carries himself, watch how he communicates, look at his body language, look at how he calibrates, look at how he manages situations. A great leader is able to get outside of himself and pay attention to the people around. If he's with a woman, he pays attention to the woman's reactions to him, right? He doesn't want the woman to have a bad experience with him. Like if I'm holding the girl's hand, I'm walking with her, I'm feeling out the energy, I'm feeling out the vibes, right? That's what allows me to, make the right decision, because a leader has to make decisions, right? He has to decide, like, okay, if you're on a date with a girl, you have to decide when you're gonna go for the kiss, right? You have to decide when you're gonna bounce her, maybe go walk somewhere else, or maybe, hey, let's sit down for a little bit. You have to decide, let's go do this or whatever, right? You have to make decisions, but you can't be like doubting yourself. A leader doesn't doubt himself. He just makes a decision, he takes an action, and he trusts himself 110%. And if somebody challenges him, he's open to hearing what they have to say, right? Just to see, because sometimes maybe somebody might be challenging you because they truly think what they have to say will support the goal. And so a leader has to be able to relate to others. He has to be able to communicate in a way where people feel safe speaking to him, right? Making comments or having questions, right? Because you want people to have a good experience around you, or else they're not going to follow you, right? They have to be getting some benefits, right? You want to be able to lead a woman, she has to benefit from your leadership. Why should she follow you? What are you demonstrating of value to her? What do you have of value to her, right? What are you communicating? What experiences? A lot of it is experiences, man. What experiences can you give these people, your followers, right? So yeah, a powerful leader, but it starts with you, right? A powerful leader is not looking for followers. Like that's a key thing, a key quality, right? Because you have this belief that you're willing to do whatever it takes to either, create a result or achieve a goal, or, manifest something, whatever it is. You have so much belief in yourself that you're not worried about anyone else. When you get to that point, bro, that's where the power is, because it's not easy to get there, right? You have to handle your insecurities. You can't walk like an insecure leader is not a leader I want to follow, bro. Like I don't think Genghis Khan was insecure. I don't think Martin Luther King was insecure, right? They probably had some insecurities, but I'm talking about when they were leading, they weren't demonstrating insecurities. They were demonstrating strength and courage and confidence and self-belief, They weren't stuck in their head, oh, I don't know if I'm ready yet, or I don't know if what we should do, or what do you guys think we should do? No, they say, this is how it's going to be. This is what we're going to do. And we're going to do it at this time. And we're going to make sure we do it. That's a leader. He just puts it out there, bruh. And he's waiting for somebody to say something, because he knows nobody's strong enough to doesn't have the commitment that he has. You see what I'm saying? So he's waiting for someone like, who has something to say, bruh? So leadership, man. Leadership is, you gotta have a strong character. Like, who is your character? Like, watch great leaders. You know what I mean? Another good, I like to watch the movie American Gangster. Watch Denzel Washington in that movie. He demonstrates qualities of a great leader. You know what I mean? He's very grounded. He's very grounded. You can't get an emotion out of him unless he wants he wants to go into that emotion, right? Like, he's calculated. Like, he will get emotional, but it's like a calculated emotional, right? Like, he will yell at somebody when it's time to yell at somebody, right? Not saying every leader needs to yell at somebody, but that was his leading style. There's different styles of leadership, right? You can be the leader who's more about getting his point across without, demonstrating anger and fury and all that stuff. There's a way to do that, right? And some leaders, that's how they use anger, and they use, speaking loud and being, whatever, to get the point across. That's the style of leadership. That's another thing. You got to figure out what style of leadership works for you. Some leaders, they don't talk much. They let their actions do their talking. Like what's it called? What's that movie? Is it Mafia? Whatever movie but basically in those movies where you have like the big boss who you don't even really see him much, but he's a shot caller. He's the one making the calls. He's making the moves or whatever. But he just says one or two words: "Go and do this," or "Send this to so and so," or blah blah blah. And then he has the people under him that do all the other shit, right? But I'm pretty sure he had to work his way up through the ranks. That's what I'm saying. He starts off, you got to be a great follower. So these great leaders, I'm pretty sure at some point they were great followers, right? Like, they saw certain people leading, and they took on those qualities that they saw were great qualities within those leaders, and they put it into themselves and took it on as attributes. And then when it was their time to lead, they led based on what they saw as great leadership. A leader, he sees himself as great, right? He doesn't see himself as like a regular dude. He doesn't see himself as an average dude. He sees himself as great, right? He sees himself as powerful. He sees himself, if he had to follow someone, he would follow himself, right? Let's put it that way. Right? In order to be a great leader, you have to believe you're a great leader. Right? Meaning you have to be proud of who you are. You can't be like doubting yourself, or, man, I wish I was like so-and-so, or no, you have to actually think you are cool as fuck. You have to think you are amazing. Right? You have to actually look at your life, look at yourself and say, man, I love being me. Right? Because there's a certain energy. There's a certain energy that you're going to have, right? That's contagious. People are going to want to be around this energy. It's a certain vibration, right? That people are going to want to be around because they're seeking that energy. They're seeking that vibe, right? They're very insecure. Like, most people are very insecure, right? They wish they had this, and wish they were better looking, and wish that they had more money, and wish that they this and that. Right? You don't want to be like that, bro. You want to have a strong character. You want to show up. You want to approach a woman, and you want her to look at you and just like be in awe, right? Because you're just so secure. You're so whole. You're so confident. You're so comfortable in your own skin. I mean, you really got to get to this point. And it's gonna come down to handling your insecurities. It's gonna come down to tapping into your potential, because you gotta be proud of yourself. You gotta feel like, man, I'm really living my life. I'm really being the man that I want to be. You know, you gotta create the character that you want to be. You gotta actually like how you look. You gotta like your presentation. You gotta like how you speak. You gotta actually love yourself. You want others to love you and follow you. You don't want like these weak ass followers that don't really, want to follow. You want people that are diehard followers, right? But in order to create that effect, you have to be able to create that effect on yourself. You got to intensify the love you have for yourself, the passion you have for yourself, the love you have for your goal, your purpose, the passion you have for your goal and your purpose. You got to have a purpose, a vision that people can get excited about. Right? You got to have intent. You got to have a goal, something that people can look at and be like, man, that's awesome. And they can get behind it. But the leader has to be strong, though. They're not going to get behind somebody who's wishy-washy or flippy-floppy or whatever. Nah, bro. They're looking for somebody who's willing to go through hell to make shit happen, bro. Man, like that's a powerful leader. A leader is that person that says, look, I understand we're in this current situation, this current position, and we have a goal. We have a vision that we'd like to achieve. In order to achieve that goal, in order to achieve that vision, there's a process we're going to have to go through. And I'm willing to lead and go through that process. And I'm not going to stop until I have achieved that goal. Now, who wants to follow me? Right? And here's the thing with a powerful leader. If nobody wants to follow him, he doesn't say, oh, nobody wants to follow me. Okay, well, I guess that's the end of this. Have a great day, everyone. No, he says, oh, no one wants to follow me? We'll see y'all later then. I'm going. And guess what's going to happen, bro? If he goes and he builds up this character, because by going through this process of going towards a purpose or a passion or a goal or whatever, by going through this process, the character that you build, that's where the true value is. It's not even so much achieving the goal, like, hitting the vision or whatever. I mean, that's great, of course. But it's the man that you become through this process. When you lead, you get these experiences that make you more powerful, right? Make you wiser, make you more mature, make you more attractive. Sexy. When a girl calls a guy sexy, I mean, not all the times, but one of the ways you can create this feeling in a woman where she's compelled to say, oh my gosh, he's hot, he's sexy, or whatever, is demonstrating maturity, bro. Because what that tells her is that you're experienced. It means you done went through some shit. You done handled some women in your time. You done handled some tests, right? That's why it's good to like go out and approach women, because it creates this maturity, because you're gonna have these experiences, these references of dealing with women, and you're gonna see how they behave and how they react to different things, how they communicate. You'll see patterns, and you'll have a different look in your eye when you look at a woman, because you done seen some shit. You done been through some shit. The guy who's never really put himself out there or just got lucky all his life or whatever, he's not gonna have the same look as the guy that proactively went out and created results, like proactively went out and went through a process and put himself through challenges and put himself through adversity consciously. That guy's gonna have a different look in his eye. He's gonna have a different demeanor. He's gonna have a different presence. He's gonna have a different form of communication. He's gonna have a different discipline. He's gonna have a different level of attributes. he's gonna be hotter, bro. He's gonna have a different kind of energy. He's gonna be at a different frequency, right? A leader needs to have like, if we're talking about energy now, we're talking about energy and vibes and frequency. The leader needs to have a higher frequency than his followers, of course, right? Because he's more passionate and more driven and just, more focused than everybody else. So his energy is going to be different. And it should be that way, or else he shouldn't lead, right? Right? A leader needs to be consistent. You can't just be, on point one day and then the next day, you're sloppy. Oh, sorry guys, I'm just not feeling it today. No, it's not okay. Right? And the leader needs to be on point. That's why you need to find your passion, find that purpose, find that thing that you love so you can lead. Right? That's why you want to approach girls that you actually want, that you're actually interested in, so you can actually feel the emotions and actually be driven to lead. Right? Like if you don't really, that's why when you settle for a girl that you don't really like, it's like you're probably not gonna really be in your masculine like that or be as grounded or whatever, because probably you're just not gonna even care, Right? So man, leadership, bro, I'm telling you, if you have those two other qualities I talk about, grounded masculinity, those need to be there. Those need to be there. You're not gonna be able to lead properly if you're not grounded in your masculinity and you're not able to express yourself authentically, right? Because let's say you're leading but you're not grounded in your masculinity. You're gonna be timid. You're gonna be shaky. Like you're gonna be doubting yourself. You're gonna be second guessing yourself. Your leadership is gonna be weak. It's just gonna be too weak, bro. Straight up. Okay, and the other part, authentic expression. Let's say you're grounded in your masculinity, but if you can't express yourself, you can't communicate freely, how are you going to be able to get your point across to your followers, right? How are you going to get your point across to the woman? How are you going to affect the woman and create these emotions? Because they want to feel emotions. How are you going to be able to create emotions if you have a shield up? If you're numbing yourself to the interaction, if you're numbing yourself to the emotions, to the flow of energy, right? You got to be able to express yourself authentically. You got to be able to be vulnerable, right? Bro, a leader, I'm going to tell you another quality of a leader, bro. A leader, he's not trying to impress anybody, bro. He's just past that shit, man. Impress who? A leader is not afraid of anything, bro. When I say not afraid of anything, I mean he's not resisting anything. That's the right word. There we go. A leader is not resisting anything. He's not resisting anyone's communication. He's not resisting anyone's arguments. He's not resisting what the world, what the universe sends his way. He's not resisting anything, bro. He accepts everything. But he's grounded in who he is, right? So he's going to respond to everyone as the character that he has chosen to be, right? So for example, like my character, my beingness, right? If something happens, I don't resist it, but at the same time, I maintain my character. So for example, if let's say I'm on a date with a girl. I'm trying to think of a scenario. I'm on a date with a girl, and let's say I'm holding her hand, we're walking, and this is our first date or whatever, and I'm feeling the vibes, and I decide I want to kiss her, right? So we're walking, and then I turn to her and I say, you know what? And she says, what? And then I just go in for the kiss. And let's say she backs up and she's like, whoa, what are you doing? My character response is, don't resist, right? First thing is don't resist. Okay, she just backed off. First thing that's gonna come up, maybe a little like, oh fuck, I got a little rejection is gonna come up, right? That's normal. But the first thing is don't resist it. Don't resist it. It's okay. Breathe into it, and then I say, oh no, I just wanted to kiss you, but it's okay. Let's just keep walking. That's leadership, because look, even though she didn't go for the kiss or whatever, but she's also looking at the reaction. She wants to see how I'm gonna react. That's an attractive response to that. If you go for the kiss and then she backs off, somebody else might get insecure, like, oh, sorry, I thought you were I thought you were ready to kiss or whatever. No, man, that's insecure, bro. That's not demonstrating leadership. The vibe is gonna change. She's gonna become the leader because you're demonstrating insecurity. So now she's demonstrating strength. So now that position's gonna change. She's gonna start leading in the date. Guarantee it. If you start getting insecure, she's gonna start getting logical and shit and start bringing the order, bringing the masculine energy. You're gonna find yourself feminine and like on a pedestal, putting her on a pedestal. No, bro, you need to maintain your character. That's what a leader is. A leader maintains his character. He maintains his beingness. He's not reactive. He stays proactive. He stays proactive, right? If something happens, he doesn't resist it, right? You're gonna feel some type of negative emotion when something negative happens, right? Something happens that, you know, maybe, like I said, if you go for a kiss or she doesn't take the kiss, or let's say you try to hold her hand, she moves her hand out the way, right? You're going to feel that a little bit, but you don't want to resist it. You want to breathe into it and just smile, man. Right? Maintain your character, bro. Because, I mean, if you were watching a movie, wouldn't you think that was cool as fuck? Like the guy who gets rejected, or the guy who something happens and he doesn't react. Like he just, you know? And he's still good to go. Like it doesn't kill. Nobody can kill his vibe. Like that's a powerful leader. A leader who has a vibe and you can't kill it. Another thing about a leader, bro. A leader, he's willing to, you know, if there's somebody who is doing something that's kind of killing the vibes or whatever, he's willing to let that person know, look, man, you're killing the vibes, bro, or you're disrespecting what we got going on here. Like, if that's going to continue, you're going to have to leave. You know? You understand what I'm saying? Right? Like, what are you trying to do here? You know, the leader is able to identify when somebody is, you know, making things worse, right? Because a leader is all about survival and achieving a goal. So if there's someone in the group that's making the situation worse, the leader is willing to let that person know and kick them out if necessary. The leader is willing to make decisions that maybe, you know, he may not want to make. Maybe he likes the guy, right? Maybe he likes the girl or whatever. But if they're not, you know, holding up to the values or the standards that the leader has set for the group or the situation or whatever, he's willing to let them go, right? The leader is willing to walk away from them as well, right? Like if you're interacting with a woman and you have your values and your code and your way of being and the way you see things should be, and she's going against that, right? Like maybe she has like negative shit to say in the interaction or whatever, the leader is willing to just walk away. Like, you don't even have to explain yourself, right? Like, she says some shit like, oh, but all guys are fuck boys or blah, 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 blah. The leader can just look at her and be like, all right. You know, and walk away, and it is what it is. And a lot of times you do shit like that, the girl's gonna be like, hey, wait, I was just kidding, blah, blah. Right? Because you're demonstrating, I don't need anything from you, right? It's your loss. The leader knows his value, bro. He knows his value. He knows that he knows his self-worth, right? He knows what he has to give. And he knows that people will benefit from his energy, benefit from being around him. And so he will walk away. He won't even think twice, right? He'll give people chances, though. You know what I'm saying? He'll give somebody a chance, but if he sees that they're being disrespectful, whatever, he'll walk away or he'll kick them out, whatever is necessary, right? But so a leader, bro, I mean, honestly, and we're talking about a powerful leader, bro. A powerful leader is like a superhero, bro. It's like a king that you would respect. It's an emperor that you would respect. It's somebody who's goal-oriented, who's results-oriented, and they're willing to do what's necessary to hit the goal, right? That's what a leader is, bro. A leader doesn't have time for bullshit. A leader doesn't have time for, you know, people getting in their feelings and shit like that. A leader doesn't have time for depression, right? The leader can't get depressed, bro. He has followers. He has people looking up to him. He's a role model, right? People are looking up to him for strength. The leader needs to be on point. That's why discipline is important, because discipline will get you through those days when you're not feeling it. It's not like the leader's a robot. He's not a robot, but he just has so much control over himself. He's mastered his emotions. He's mastered his feelings. He's overcome his insecurities, right? He's tapped into his intellect. He knows who he is. He knows his strengths. He knows his weaknesses. He's not timid. He's not confused. He's sharp. He's on point. He's focused. That's a leader, man. A leader, you know, if it makes sense, a leader is willing to align with other leaders, right? Like, a leader understands that, yeah, you can be the one-man army, but it's better to have other armies, you know, other allies, right? You become more powerful. The bigger you are, you know, the more of you that stand for a certain vision or a certain purpose, the stronger your effect on the world, right? If a leader has no followers, you know, it's going to be much harder for him to achieve his goal or get his point across to the world or whatever, versus a leader that not only has followers, but he has also other leaders who he has allied with, who will back him up when he's saying what he's saying or doing what he's doing, right? He has support. So a leader understands the power of numbers, right? He understands the power of alliances. He understands what can happen when you have, you know, two lions now teaming up, and the lions have their what do they call it? Is it a lion? Is it a pack? It's not a pack. The lion, whatever a group of lions is called, I can't remember what it's called, but like two lions that have their group of lions behind them. You see what I'm saying? It's powerful. So a leader understands that he will create allies, but it has to be people who have similar values and stand for the same thing. If you don't have the same values, it's not going to work. It's going to be conflict. So that's why as a leader you need to know your values. You need to know what you stand for. You have a purpose and goals that are bigger than you as an individual, right? Like, that's your vision. It's selfless. It's not selfish. It's selfless. That's what a great leader is. He's selfless, right? Martin Luther King, he wanted freedom. He was speaking for everyone. He wasn't just talking about for black people. He wanted freedom for everyone. That was a selfless vision he had there, right? That's powerful, man. That's why, you know, I'm sure there was people back then who were like, man, we need to stop this slavery thing. They probably just weren't, confident enough or courageous enough to really stand up. But I'm sure there was some people, you know, when Martin Luther King was coming across and saying what he was saying, I'm sure there was some white people that were saying, yeah, man, he's right. Maybe they didn't really go out, you know, say it, but because they saw the selflessness in what he was doing. Some people are intelligent enough to see this. Some are not, but some are. A powerful leader is actually, he's leading because he wants to help others. It's not even about him. He's already good. That's what I'm saying. Like, as a leader, you want to already be whole. You want to already be happy, already be joyful, already be peaceful, already have these great feelings within. But you are leading because you want to amplify these feelings within yourself, but you also want to create an experience for others. You want to create something that's going to benefit others, right? And you're going to attract certain people that can see your vision, see your purpose, and see how it would benefit them and benefit others. And those are the people you're going to attract, and they're going to support you. But as I said, you got to have the strength to lead at first without anybody following, right? They're not going to follow in the beginning. That's just how it goes, right? Because you need to build up that self-belief. You're not going to start off as a powerful leader. You got to build it up. You got to build it up by going through adversity, by going through challenges, by having to rely on yourself, right? You know, that's where your confidence comes from. Where do you think confidence comes from? It doesn't come out your ass. You have to go and get that confidence by going through shit, right? And relying on yourself, having self-reliance, right? So then you know what you're capable of, right? You know what you can do. You know what you bring to the table. You know your value. So nobody can like make you second guess your value, second guess your power, because you done went through situations where you had to demonstrate your power to yourself and to others. And so that's where your certainty comes from. That's where that strength comes from in your communication, your ability to look someone in the eye and not blink or not flinch, because you know what you went through. You know, you're not pretending to be something. Like, I don't believe in pretending to be something. I believe in becoming that person. If you're not that person right now, become that person. If you're not that leader right now, become that leader, right? Start taking steps to become a leader. What are some things you can do to practice leadership in your life? Maybe when you're approaching women, focus more on leadership. How can I lead in this interaction? Set your intent. Have a clear goal, intent of what you want, what's the result you want to create here, and know where you're starting, and be able to go through a process and not resist. You can't resist what's happening in the environment. If you resist, you cause constriction, right? You're not going to be able to flow. You can't resist. You got to say, I accept what's going on here, but I'm going to do my part, right? I'm going to be proactive, right? So if a girl, like for example, you approach a girl and she has her bitch shield up, meaning she's not being so sociable or whatever, maintain your frame, right? Just say what's on your mind. Just communicate, express yourself. You know, I approach a girl, let me think, right? I go up to a girl, I say, excuse me, I thought you were attractive. I wanted to come and say hi. Let's say she's a little standoffish, like, oh, okay, that sounds good. You know, I breathe. What's the first thing that comes to my mind? I'll just say it because it's about authentic expression. It's not about impressing her. I'm not trying to impress her. I'll just say, yeah, man, I'm feeling so great right now. I just finished a workout not too long ago. It was, man, I was doing a lot of push-ups. There's a lot of push-ups, some pull-ups, man, but it was pretty intense. And she made like look at you, but like don't stop or react to that. Like keep going, Yeah, I'm telling you. When's the last time you did some pushes? You work out? You know, but like look at the vibe though. I'm smiling, I'm playful, I'm having a good time. What if she says, no, I don't work out? Ah, man, you're missing out, man. It creates a great feeling for the rest of your day. Like it allows you to feel accomplished because you did something, you know, physically. You exerted some effort through your workout, and then when you go through it and you finish the workout, you feel like, yeah, I did something today. You know, I got my workout in, you know, feel great. And then you go and take a shower and you freshen up, you know, and you keep talking and she walks away. That's great. You know, there's somebody else next to you. You say, yeah, man, I don't know, that girl, I was just trying to spread some good vibes with her, but she wasn't having it, bruh. You know, like just make a joke out of it or whatever. You know what I mean? Don't let nobody kill your vibe. That's what a leader is. He maintains his vibe, right? He maintains his character, bro, no matter what, right? That's why self-amusement, bro. You got to fall in love with yourself, bro. Fall in love with yourself. Fall in love with your life so nobody can fuck with you. That's a leader, bro. That's a leader. So look, this is the end of the presentation. I hope you got value out of this. But I do have a program. If you want to become a powerful leader, if you want to become grounded in your masculinity, you want to be able to express yourself and be a leader, be able to lead men, be able to lead women, be able to lead yourself, be able to go towards your goals with power, with conviction, with self-belief, live a passionate life, a life of love where you love your life and you love yourself. If you want to become a sexy beast, if you want to become a king, an emperor, a god, whatever it is you want to become, I have a program. It's called the Sexy Beast Program. And we focus on these three areas: grounded masculinity, authentic expression, and leadership, so you can become a sexy beast. Whatever goal you want to achieve in your dating life as far as women, bro, you get these three qualities handled, you're going to have women, bro. Your dating life's going to be handled, bro. And the caliber of women you get is literally going to come down to just amplifying these areas, which can be done. It's just through character development. You build your character. You become this beingness, right? So it's a 3-month program. It's one-on-one coaching. Me and you working together. We'll jump on a call each week. I'm going to give you specific actions to take. We're going to work on the inner game and the outer game in the sense of I'm going to give you some meditations to do, visualization, how to set your goals, how to get your mind right, how to master your emotions, right? And then to give you the actions you're going to need to take to build up that grounded masculinity so you can handle tension, you can handle challenges, you can handle life, and you carry yourself as a man. And I'll show you how to express yourself authentically and how to be a leader. All right, the program's $997, right? It's a 3-month program, and we focus on your goals in your dating life and make sure you hit those goals, right? And we're working together, right? So if you're interested, send me a message. I'll give you more details, and I'll see if we can get something going. All right, thanks for watching. Peace.